When you started Nebula Space Organization, what did people get wrong about your ambition back then?
Since 2021 to 2025, everything was sketch and theory. And we didn't have any money, but we were thinking big stuff. So it was pretty hectic. Many people thought that it was just a waste of time. We won't get the money. Literally called us mad that he's gone crazy over this thing. He has no money and he's still in the launch of satellite. But there's a thing called instinct, I think, that if you think it is possible, then it's possible.
Following is the conversation with Snehadeep Kumar, co-founder and CEO at Nebula Space. They are working on building world's most affordable CubeSat constellation and India's first gamma-ray impulse detecting satellites. Snehadeep is also an Emergent Ventures Fellow, a Fellow of Royal Astronomical Society, UK, and was the youngest Indian to ever do so. He is working on democratizing this space, bringing real-time Earth imagery data to the masses. So yes, I welcome to you, Snehadeep Kumar.
I don't think there are a lot of space tech companies who are directed toward consumers.
There are companies like Planet Labs. They sell this data, but the cost of this data means you can find this data in Sky-Fi, where you can search for real-time satellite imagery. But that costs you about 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs minimum for a normal image. So we are giving it just 240 rupees. So there's a huge difference of the cost price of this.
Yeah. So super cool, super cool. Again, coming back to your journey once again, who was that one teacher or mentor you feel like shaped you the most and was crucial throughout your journey? Because it is most likely, I believe, that it might be one teacher that who pushed you to do this one competition and it changed everything.
Yeah, there were many people who helped in the journey, and there were many people who didn't want to be in this, want me to be in this journey. I texted some people on email, means I just cold email random people, as I told you. I just cold email professors and Nobel laureates also. I just emailed them about 1,500 times. So they got frustrated that who is this guy? Why is he just emailing? So they have their managers, obviously, that who check the emails. So if you just email them randomly for about 2 times or 3 times a day, they will get frustrated. Just reply to this guy. Just see what he's up to. So I got replies in that way. So
Right.
yeah, I emailed Dr. Tom Welton and Dr. Gerard Hope. They were very kind to me. They nominated me for the fellowship and all. So for scientific part, means what I'm doing right now, means they shape me very well. So they told me means what research is all about actually. Right now the whole craze of publishing and everything, so they told me to stay away from it because the more you publish, the more you're inclined towards validation. So what you're doing.
Right.
There was a Nobel laureate called Dr. Wildline. So he published about 6 papers and he got a Nobel Prize. Now you can see normal professors in universities. They publish about 30, 40 papers and they don't get any validations because it doesn't matter how many papers you publish. Now, what matters is the research has to be the best over there. If you publish one paper also, it has to be the best paper there is. So they shape me in that way. So that's why I'm following those steps right now. Means I did one thing, I will publish it. Means I'll publish everything at once.
Okay. About that one teacher that shaped you.
So I got some teachers in school. Mrs. Chandra was there. So she told me to participate in some science competitions in school. So I am participating in science fairs since class 3. Students in my school didn't want to participate in this thing because they thought it was a waste of time because who participated in science fairs? Just study for JEE, man. It's like
Right.
that in Durgapur. So I still did. It gave me a lot of experience in how the science world works in our country, like how to do scientific experiments, how to write logbooks and all. So that was the first time for me to participate in the science world, but it was pretty cool. I think everyone in school should do it because at one time you don't know what you will do in the near future. If you go to some product companies also, you have to do these things. So it's pretty vital you do these things.
Right. And also believe in this very much. You should be trying to run as many experiments as you can, try to participate as much as you can. I don't remember where I read this quote, but try to do as many things that make you more and more imbalanced as a person.
Yeah, this is the thing. So I was pretty fond of designing and art. I sketched when I was in my younger years. So it's pretty vital what I'm doing right now. Most of them won't regard art as a hobby because most of them it's like pretty girly type of thing that is designing and all thing. But it's pretty vital in product companies, to design these things. And many people fail to do these things. I didn't know what will be the value of it in a 10 year, 20 years of line, but it is putting value right now. So you just need to do as many of your things that we can do when you're young because at least 20 years of age you'll not find time to do new things. You'll not find time to learn guitar or art or anything. Just do it when you're young. So that's the age actually.
Right, right. And the dots always connect. Don't ever think that anything
Exactly.
is going to be useless. Never. So, like going back to the birth of Nebula Space again, when you started Nebula Space organization, which is, if I'm not wrong, almost 4 years ago,
Yeah.
what did people get wrong about your ambition back then?
People get wrong right now also. It's just a waste of time that I'm doing this thing. Why not try for a job or something like that? The thing is that some people don't want you to succeed. That's the biggest thing. And some of those are the closest people who most of you call friends. So there are many people who don't want you to do new things and all because they wanted to go to the straight path. So it happens for all the people who try to do something new. Many people who try to do something new in their product got faced backlashes from the investors also. It's just a waste of time that we're doing because why give it to normal people? Why not try defense tech? It gives you easy money. Many companies are doing this defense tech. Just make drones and just make UAVs and give it to Indian Army. Yeah, it's good. Good contract, good money. But true innovation doesn't lie in just easy things. It's very boring to do easy things. If everybody's doing it, it means something fault is there.
And dude, I just like you are that one guy I really want to win because this is something I had not heard before that selling data to consumers, regular users. This is pretty much unheard of. Going back again, what did Nebula Space look like on day one? What were the dreams that you had in mind when you first started this?
Yeah. So as I said previously that Nebula was started in online mode. So for 1 year, it was just a WhatsApp group and a website. At that time, we were kids back then, so we thought we'll just assemble some parts and send it to another country, and then he will tell us in another country. And we didn't have any money, but we were thinking big stuff. So, but we need to think big stuff, obviously, because if we don't think big, we will be small.
Right.
We thought that we'll build some stuff and also we sketched everything about how the satellite will look like how the whole process will look like. So for the next 3 years, now 4 years, sorry, yeah, everything was sketch and theory, means all the simulations and all. Because since 2021 to 2025 or September, we didn't have a single penny to work upon. We had simulations, some results that we got that this would be possible. The efficiency is better than what is used in some real satellites. And then we got some grant money to work on this satellite. So it gave a momentum to make a real satellite. But for the first 4 years, it was pretty hectic. Many people thought that it was just a waste of time. We won't get the money. Why am I doing this? So they people literally called us mad that he's gone crazy over this thing. He has no money and he's telling to launch a satellite. So it's like that. People will just say stuff, but there's a thing called instinct, I think. That instinct is the biggest thing. There's no data can reveal what the instinct can do. So you need to be true on an instinct that if you think it is possible, then it's possible.
And masses can always be wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just
There is no authority in science. Anybody can be correct. Nobel laureate can be wrong. High school student can be also correct in science. At the end, science is a measure of courage, not intelligence. It's like an endurance race. The one who stays for the longest time wins.
super nice quote, Dad. For the most of the time, you did not really have a funding, and most of the work you did was like around simulations, the designs. So, did the building of satellites actually start after the grant?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about applying to emergent ventures and
Yeah.
how were the interviews like, and after you got in, how are you planning to spend the grant money on building CubeSats?
Yeah. I followed emerging ventures since 2024. I saw people who got in emerging ventures. Thing is that I planned since 1 year just how to get in the first try. So this was a whole plan for 1 year that we have to do these things so that I can get in because I had to get the money. I made some notes that we have to do this set up things. And then I applied in July last year, 2025. They have a whole set of things that you have to do to get the grant money. You have to state what the grant project is on. any the reason you're working on, and there are three questions you have to answer. These are three essay type things, and then within 3 or 4 weeks, Dr. Rajagopalan will call you through WhatsApp, and she will just speak on the phone what you're building on or something like that. So for a 10 or 20 minutes WhatsApp call, and then she will say that you have got the grant. So it's like that. It's pretty easy process, but the whole 1 month is it's a whole pressure cooker boiling inside my mind that am I got into it or not, because I planned it since 1 year that I have to get it in the first try, the whole thing. So the whole cooker was boiling inside my head. In just 20 minutes, or Rajagopalan told me that I got the grant. So it was done like that way. And right now, we are planning to make our EM model for the satellite right now, that is the electrical model. And then we'll go to investors finally with our prototype that, yeah, it is possible. The electrical model is possible. We have to raise another round to launch the satellite, because we cannot launch a satellite with just 20 lakh rupees. We have to raise another round. So it's like that.
Right. And if I'm not wrong, you have two goals in mind.
Yeah.
First one is Earth imagery, and other one is gamma burst, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a regular person is probably not aware of what are gamma burst satellites, and as well as Earth imagery, we know, but what's the exact application? Might not know. Would like to hear about it.
Yeah, the thing is that right now we're making a tech demo. So tech demo as in it will validate that our product is flight heritage. So there are four processes of building a satellite. There's the EM model, that is the electrical model. Then engineering qualification model comes. Then the flight model comes, and then the thermal model. So these are the four stages of building a whole CubeSat, and same for the satellite. So Savasat is the first satellite, and that's our tech demo. So it will detect gamma ray bursts. Gamma ray bursts are the remnants of black holes. So it is the formation of black holes on the delta neutron stars. So you can see where the gamma ray bursts are coming from, where the black hole is or will be, the position of that. You can just see it through a CubeSat. ISRO built their own gamma ray burst observatory called the AstroSat. They launched it about 2010 or 11, I think. So it is still operational right now. So we are building a CubeSat form of that, or Savasat. So the thing is that why we're building is that GRB imagery is a frequency domain imagery, and you will get about 2 to 3 datas every year. And normal imagery, that is visible imagery, is time domain. So frequency domain is a much harder to crack than time domain, because you have to be active every 24/7 for about 5 years to get frequency domain data. And you get light curves, and then you have to just decipher it that, yeah, we got the GRV data. It's like that. And for the opposite is for time domain, that you will get data every 24/7. It's like a DSLR camera in space. That's what Earth observation CubeSats are. You just put a lens in there, and the systems are the same for that. For Sabasat, the systems which are building, and the same will be for the Earth observation CubeSats. The systems are in the onboard computer, the ADSS modules, the reaction wheels, everything will be same except the payload. The payload is our own thing, own research that we're working on. Other things we'll be putting everything in open source mode, so that anyone can work on it anytime. So the payload is just the main research that we're working right now. Other things will be in open source that anyone can work, and yeah, it's like that.
Super nice. Now let's talk a little bit about struggles, setbacks, and reality checks that you might have faced while building Nebula. So in these 4 years, was there any phase where you faced a serious setback, a moment when you genuinely thought about quitting? How did you come out of it?
The thing with entrepreneurship is that I think in a span of 2 minutes, the whole thing can change. Like in 1 minute, you can think the whole world is crashing upon your head, means you are just dead. And the next minute, means upon solving the thing, you're thinking that you are the top of the world. It's like that.
King of the world.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that. It means it happens every month that suppose any company is building that thing, you're thinking that, yeah, it's over. Everything is over. And the next minute you find out that, yeah, we found a differentiation. They cannot win. It's like that. Like anyone can compete with you. You just need to win on the instincts. So many people will say many things to you. Don't have to listen to that. Many investors will say many things, but at the end, the instinct will win, nothing else. The customers are right sometimes, but when you give them proper product, proper things that can work upon, they will eventually accept these things. The same happened with computers when it came in 1975 to India. Many people protested that our jobs will go, but in hand, India became another Silicon Valley. It's like endurance race, as I said. Means no one cares what the best product is. You just have to stay on the line.
Got it. The next question is about building in tech. What is it like to build a space tech startup? And how do you guys work internally as a team?
The thing is that big companies will make different type of nodes and smaller companies are better risk takers, which can be seen in Apple, as Steve Jobs said. Companies should work like startups. Startups are risk takers. Big companies cannot take big risks. That's the main thing, because there are many investors, there are shareholders who will stop you from taking risks. But small companies don't need to. Like some companies are no specific companies, they make big design reviews and all these things. But we are working on hit and trial. We are seeing that, yeah, I'm making this thing. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. Then we'll make another iteration of that thing. Does it work? No. Then again, we'll make another iteration like that. It's like hit and trial. That's how we will know what the correct thing is, what the problem is all about. If we just predict everything that this may work, and then review it with 10 different scientists, it will take a hell lot of time to work upon. And that's what companies are working. But startups need to work upon hit and tell. That's the main thing the startups need to do. So we made a whole technique which are working. That's the Harada method actually. There's a baseball league of USA. So there's a player called Shohei Otani. So he follows a technique called the Harada methods. There are 8 blocks, and 8 blocks, there are 8 plans which you have to work upon in the next 5 years to reach a particular goal. So in the middle, we have a goal that we have to get to, and the 8 other blocks where there are different parameters which are set to achieve. So suppose we have a ecosystem or strategy, then what are the 8 things that are needed for the ecosystem strategy to become our goal?
Got it, got it, got it. And the method you named was Harday method.
Harada, Harada, Harada.
Harada. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
definitely look into it, man.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. So, suppose a college student is watching this and he's pretty good at physics, passionate about space tech, and he wants to build his own startup, but he has never done something like that. He's overwhelmed by the idea of first working on his research is itself a very big task for him, and now commercializing it, building a team. So, you have done a little bit of your own thing. So, what advices would you have for someone who is still in college and wants to build a startup?
I would tell them one thing actually, that you just have to need a proper group and a proper set of people that you will be with. Like I had a good friend circle from the first year of my college itself. So you just have to be with people who are pretty motivated to work upon. Means any field, it doesn't have to be in science or anything. Just people who are true of their words. That's the thing you need to be.
Right.
So you need to have friend circle who do both of things, who are enjoyable also and are pretty focused on the goals also. Starters, everything will follow. Do that thing. Means you can follow your own dreams, they can follow their own dreams, but it doesn't let you deviate from your goals. So suppose I'm in a group where nobody is focused on what the future is. So it's pretty normal that within 1 or 2 years, I will also think that they are having a pretty good life. Let me enjoy with them. So you need to take care of your friend circle. That's the main thing for a college student. And starters, everything can be done. You can just email anyone. If you don't get answers, I would advise just spam them. So, like for academicians, it works obviously. I don't know for CEOs of the companies right till now, but for academicians, for physics and all, they would obviously answer. I got a 90% success rate in cold mailing to academicians, so I would just advise you that.
Following up is like really important. This is something that I did not know when I just started cold mailing. I read this like a blog by Alexei Gazi, who is I think like ex OpenAI. Pretty cool blog. I will link it below. So yes, always remember to follow up and to build a startup. First, try to build a good circle, and everything will fall into place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, super cool. And another question on similar lines. If a 19-year-old wants to start a startup today, what's one thing he should not be doing?
I have to think about that. Um, the main thing is that you don't have to listen to everyone. As I said, instinct is the best warrior that can ever be. You will meet about 1,000 people every month. About half of them will tell you different things that you need to do this, you need to do this. But at the end, your experience and instinct matters, nothing else. Like the CEO of OpenAI or the CEO of Google can be telling two different things. Suppose they want to invest in a company and they're telling me to do these things. But does it align with my goal? Does it align with my strategy? For many startups who are right now big, many of them have been told to shut down because it doesn't follow the usual norms. Any breakthrough has to go through some resistances, which are not common at that time. So I think just follow instinct, nothing else.
Goated advice. So, having spent time in deep tech ecosystem, what do you feel should be better in India across both private players and public institutions and policy?
I think there is not much capital to deploy in India. That's the main thing in deep tech right now. Like in USA, you can get funded if you just have a plan in place. But in India, you need to have a proper prototype, a proper amount of customers, like these things. So there's a pretty much rush in ROI from the investors, as I've seen. Like I went to IAC last year, it was in Milan. So many companies came. Like I won't name them, but many satellite companies came, many rocket companies also came, launch vehicle companies also came. And the thing their focus is not making their product better. They're focused on making new customers, having new LOIs and everything like that. That's the different thing in the US. You don't need to have 1,000 LOIs or 1,000 customer base. Deep tech is a whole research based thing that you
Right.
fund it, the customers will follow. Not in the 5 years time, but in 10 years time, people will come. But we need to be focused on that in India because the thing is that there's not much capital, obviously, to be deployed in Indian deep tech startups. So they want the ROI to be fast. But the US, the thing is different. You can spend 25 years and still, if you don't get any other revenue, it's still fine until you are making the product better. For India to be like that, it will take another 5 or 10 years, I think. There are many investors from the US that are coming to India to invest in Indian startups. So yeah, it will change obviously, but it will take some time.
Right. So one very popular thing, like 1 lakh crore of investments have been. So this news about RDI, I actually forgot the full form, but
FDI, foreign direct investment.
they are planning to deploy, I think, like around 12 to 13 billion into India's deep tech. But the catch is that they're only investing in companies that have technology readiness level of 4, which is like beyond prototype.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So you're not actually taking bet on innovation. I wish there was support when they're actually starting the research. During your journey, have you tried these government schemes like the Associate Fund scheme led by both central and state government?
Yeah, there are schemes right now that have come into place. So Mohit is applying for that. So he's working on the finance part as well. So let's see how it all goes.
Right, right, right. And all the best for since you have started applying to government schemes and like Startup India initiatives. All the best for it.
Thanks.
Now let's move. Now let's move towards a little bit personal and reflective questions. What part of this journey had felt the loneliest to you?
Everything is lonely. Everything is lonely over here. So I have a team who are aligned to the goals of the company, but the higher you are, you'll find people who are not aligned to our goals. Means that's the thing. To work on something new, it is a lonely thing. You'll not find people to talk. So you just have to keep everything to yourself. It's a lonely path, but it's cool at the end because every achievement you get, it feels like yeah, I just did it. For startup paths, it's lonely a bit.
Got it, got it. And let's say that you make an exit out of the startup, you retire. Looking back, what would you think that made the journey really, really worth it?
The whole thing about the pressure is the best thing. Ever seen that 2022 World Cup final? It was a whole pressure cooker boiling over there. So
Right, right.
means at the end, we don't care if Messi won the World Cup or not, if France won the World Cup or not. The whole thing that who will win a whole 90 minutes, a whole 120 minutes was the most exciting thing. So it's the same for the startup. The whole journey is the most exciting thing. Another coolest thing is that startups can lead you to places you haven't thought that you could. As a startup founder, you can just reach out to different people. But
Right.
as a student, you cannot. So you can just talk to different people who are pretty high places or not. So it's pretty cool in that way. I would recommend this for any student, obviously, to start something on their own. Not the startup, anything like a podcast, like you are doing. It's pretty good for connecting to people, like any type of Substack or anything that connects people. That's pretty cool in just exchanging different journeys of how people who did something big would help you to do something big.
Right, 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 right. And talking about future and big visions, what's your North Star? And realistically, where do you see Nebula in 10 years?
as the go-to platform for Earth imaging. If anyone wants to see about what is happening, anything in the world, they would just think about Nebula, about our app. That's what we are planning to. We are thinking of satellites as accessible as a mobile phone, which is not the case right now. That's what our plan is, that to lower the whole cost of a space. And that would be only be possible if it is accessible to everyone. If no one bought this TV subscriptions, if no one bought this internet, cost of internet will be really high. That's the thing that is happening with space right now because nobody has faced the value to space data. So that's what we want to make it better so that they can feel valued through data from space, that it is valuable, it is to be in your life. That's what we're planning.
Got it, got it, got it. What would the success look like if no one was watching?
No one was watching us in.
In a sense, if nothing about fame or money, it did not matter, what would the success look like to you?
Yeah. Um, to be honest, I don't care about the money. I'm the least interested about money as a startup. I just want the operations to be good. For any scientist you talk to, most of the scientists, they would tell you that I don't just need money. I just want my research to be deployed,
Right.
be made accessible to people. So that's what we want actually, to make the whole thing accessible to common people who can't right now. Many farmers are facing many problems right now in India and abroad as well. Most of them cannot afford drone things, the drone imaging data and all, because analysis and drones are very much high. And that's why the yields are very low right now, means they are facing suicide problems and everything like that. So that's a big issue for the farmer ecosystem in India and the world as well. So if we could deliver the data to them, if we could just make their lives a little bit easier, that would mean a lot to us. Means you can give the money or I don't care, but we just need to make it accessible to people. That's what the fame comes upon. If they don't discover us, they won't know about us, and that's what Mohit is working about, to talk to people and all. So that's the thing.
That's a beautiful answer. And coming to our last two questions, if you could leave one idea in the minds of young Indian builders listening today, what would it be?
I would tell the same thing. Talk to people who need this stuff. Understand the problems from ground level. You don't have to trust data from JP Morgan and stuff. From people who are in AC room or AC cubicle, don't expect them to solve the problems. Or people who are in the some villages who don't have electricity. Even Nobel laureate economists travel to villages. They stay for 5 to 10 years to get the data. Blindly following data won't lead you to anywhere. You just need to talk to people. Staying in an AC room won't means give you proper insights of what the people are facing.
Right, right. So, to solve real problems, don't rely on big institutions. By big institutions, I mean the big consulting companies who
Yeah.
publish white papers on every problem that exists, and they come with these numbers 8 billion, 5 billion, this much of market cap, this much of TAM. That's not what you should be believing in. Go to the ground level, understand the problems, and that's when you take the decision.
Yep.
So, to solve India's problems, you need to go to ground level. I think that's one beautiful idea that you're leaving us with. And this one's final question. What are your favorite books that you would like to recommend to our viewers? Also, a favorite movie.
Um, right now, I'm reading a book called Cheap War. So it's about the whole informal war that happened with manufacture of ICs.
Cheap Wars, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool book that I'm reading. And movies, as in, I mean, I love watching movies. So my favorite movie as of now is Schindler's List. It's by Steven Spielberg. I like that
Okay.
movie a lot.
Okay. This one's I've not watched it. We'll definitely check it out. So, yes, thank you so much for your time. It was
You're
lovely talking to
welcome.
you.
Yeah, I love talking to you as well. It's pretty cool.
If I ever come to Odisha or Bengal, I would love to talk to you once again.
Of course, man.
Would love to meet you in person.
Of course.
So, thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye.